Johnny Joey Jones, a retired Marine bomb technician, USMC staff sergeant. Most of all to us here, a Fox News contributor. We're very grateful for that. You know, Johnny, I'm thinking of you and looking at this, and what is motivating Vladimir Putin? I mean, he's going to be financially ruined by all of this. I know he's stashed a lot of cash away, so maybe not nearly the degree to which we think, and maybe that's what's emboldening him, but he doesn't care. He's not listening to his top aides. What do you think?
You know, I can only pull from the lessons I've learned in my own life. And when we talked about something like ending the war in Afghanistan, we talked about how as much as the United States might not want to be at war, if our enemies want to be at war, we are at war by fact, regardless if we want to be there or not. And that's the feeling I get from this entire circumstance. I don't think this is something that the Biden administration necessarily foresaw or wanted to happen or thought they could maneuver around. But here we are. We're in a place where Vladimir Putin, at this point, I believe, he has no choice but to find a win. The Russians are very prideful people, and it's a part of how he rules his country. I don't think he has the opportunity to back down over a threat of sanctions. And I think that's the rock and the hard place that he's put himself in. And for our administration, the rock and the hard place is kind of like the first rule in knife fighting. The first rule in knife fighting is you accept you're going to get cut, but you decide where. I think for our president and his administration is to accept that Putin's going to make moves that probably will disrupt markets and maybe even kill innocent people, but try to maneuver that to where we decide how that happens and what we can respond with to stop it. And if that is appeasement, you know, I'm not going to sit here and beat the war drum and say appeasement is never a good option, but I hope we have a strategy, because Putin is tactically sound right now with troops on the ground, but what is his strategy and what is our counter strategy, which is long term? What does all of this end in? And that's where I hope that our president is.
You know, he's supposedly a good student of history, and you know, this is the glory days of the old Soviet Union. Maybe wants to rebuild it and cobble it together.
Yeah.
But he must remember, too, failed Russian missions, then Soviet missions in Afghanistan. He must remember how so-called easy walks for other despots who came in. I'm thinking Hitler into Poland. And not that he didn't easily wipe them out very, very quickly, but it was a much, much harder a fight than he thought it would ever be. I could go to France with Vietnam, our own experience in Vietnam. Is he aware that this might not be so easy, and this might not just go down as swiftly as he hopes?
You know, Neil, all we can do is sit here and really pontificate as to what his end game is, because we can see an uphill battle for him in any direction, and we can also see a way that he can make life terrible for a lot of people, to include all around the country, if it's either economic and financial through the oil market, or just the fact that now we have the domestic politics of should our president send troops and resources to NATO. But I think, you know, we have to understand his end game to kind of understand what he's weighing. I really thought up until this point the idea was something similar to what we've seen this week, where he has an opportunity to create sort of a proxy war and create Ukraine and have his way of calling them the bad guy, so that he can claim enough territory to have the win and maybe get concessions out of NATO as far as missile placement or Ukraine's future with NATO. And I felt like that was kind of the draw that we would come to. But now you hear Jennifer Griffin's report and you see the visual images of such a strong military presence, and I don't know that it stops there. And that's what worries me, because at the end of the day, it may hurt our pocketbooks, but it's going to hurt a lot of people's lives. It's going to take people's lives, and that's not what we want.
Yeah, it takes someone like you to put the important part in perspective. Johnny Joey Jones, very good having you, my friend. Thank you, and thank you for all you've done for the country.
Thank you, and welcome back.
Thank you. I appreciate that.